Welcome to the weekly review with Sean Rock. I am Sean, the Key Notorious Senior, and of course, I'm joined along with.
And it's your boy, Ciroc the Mike. Whatever you want to call me, Ciroc, C-Rock, doesn't matter. And today we have a great friend of mine, Don P. Can I call you Don P. Davis?
Man.
I know we get
go by Don P. Davis.
Yeah, I know when we get older, everybody goes professional. Like you can call me Mr. Davis or Dominic if you'd like. But anyway.
So I did it in the wrong way, huh?
Yeah. Well, no,
I got older and added a name.
Nah, you're good. You're good. But for those of you tuning in, Dom is obviously he does his own podcast, No Bad News. I've listened to it. I love it. I definitely promote it, and it got some great stuff. I mean, it kind of the majority of the stuff is pretty much in the title. And give it a listen. You're on Spotify, right?
I'm pretty much on every platform that Anchor produces. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Yeah, you name it, I'm pretty much on it.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So how do you as far as dealing with Anchor, like, do you like it? Is it comfortable? Is it easy?
But me, like I'm a very simple guy, and there's no secret. Like I work a full-time job. I've got 2 kids. I'm married, so what you're able to do right now with editing and recording and stuff, like I want to be able to do that stuff, but technically I don't have the time. So
right.
When I first started looking into podcast, man, it's crazy. Right. I did the wrong thing. I YouTubed it and looking at all these YouTube reviews on what mics, and nobody is leaning you towards the same thing.
Right.
And so finally one day I get a coupon, and it was from Best Buy, an email coupon, and it was like $20 off a Yeti, anything Yeti. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So I go in there, go get a blue Yeti. I get $20 off, and then they were still extending Black Friday deals. So I got an extra 25% off. So I paid $80 for like $145 mic.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Definitely.
Hey, nice.
Man, it was a steal. And then like when I started recording, I'm like, man, this is so clear. But obviously, like I said, you got that trained ear when you start recording your own stuff, and you're just like, oh, I hear that door, I hear that draft, but nobody else can really hear it. I say that because with Anchor, I knew I could press record. And everything would just, do what it's supposed to do. And I got okay with the fact of knowing, like, I've been doing it for about 6 months, but I'm like, I'm not going to have a perfect product. Exactly. I'm not going to have a perfect product. And, just growing through what I'm growing through and figuring out what I need to do down the road, it's starting to come to me slowly, but I'm in no rush because, kind of like you said, like it's something to do. You meet new people, and, it gives you something else on the notch to say, yeah, I got a podcast. Right. It sounds cool too. Like, what are you doing?
Everybody got a podcast now.
That's you don't got a podcast? What's wrong with you? You go get a podcast.
Right. That's like having an iPhone at this point. Like, I mean, of course I got it.
You better put your voice out there somewhere.
Exactly. And Sean will tell you, man, like it's always a work in progress. I think any situation.
It's a daunting task. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of our time. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, hey, I'm running late. We might have to reschedule a day.
Yeah.
Because on top of just the podcast, we have school, we have work. He has work 2 jobs, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm always working.
So I mean, and it's finding time to make sure that you stay committed to this is what we have to do week in, week out.
Right.
It's a daunting task.
Exactly.
Yeah. I even started off like I'm gonna do it every week, and it's just like, all right, now I haven't done an episode in almost a week. And I'm probably not going to do one this week. And it's just like, well,
why not?
I'll record more, man. So if you didn't know, like I'm trying to start my own gym out here.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yeah. So like
boxing gym, right?
Well, it's gonna be a little bit of everything. It's gonna have a focal point on boxing, but we're gonna be working at the full body. So it's gonna be weight training. Okay. It's gonna be a little bit of CrossFit. I'm gonna get some yoga instructors to come in probably once every couple of weeks.
Okay.
And just try to mix it up, man. Like
yoga's hot right now.
Dude,
it really is.
Yoga
I've done it. I actually like it. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like a new drug. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just like I've been doing some recent studies. Like it's good for asthma. I've got asthma, and like it's just one of those things where a lot of people don't know it because that's not what you grow up doing. Like we grow up hooping.
Yeah. Like
watch like nobody said.
I still don't stretch. I still don't stretch.
You trying to do a downward dog?
Exactly.
With the breathing.
Exactly.
Man, no, I can't do it. And it's hard. Like it's not easy. Like it's not easy by any means.
Yeah, it looks easy, and then like a lot of times with men we kind of revert to like, well, I'm a guy, I shouldn't be able to do this anyway. You know, I shouldn't be able to, be this flexible. But at the end of the day, we may not experience it now just because, like, we're still pretty young in my eyes, at least. And, I feel like once you get up there to, your 50s, 60s, is then that's when, like, damn, I should have stretched 30 years ago or whatever. You got to get something replaced. So, yeah, man, yoga's important.
Body starts locking up.
Exactly, man. And everybody, like, especially here, I can't speak for up north, but down here, man, it's whatever's hot, it just blows up. If it's yoga, it's yoga in the park. It's yoga at the gym. It's 20 yoga studios that's opened up. I'm just like, damn, like, how do you get certified as a yoga instructor? Like, where do you go? India or something? Where they do that at?
Honestly, from what I've seen, like, people start off as just taking the classes and then taking so many classes where they almost connect with an instructor knowing what they're going to do next. Like, I can teach this class. I don't need,
Exactly. It's one of those, like, quick weekend personal training type of certificates. Yeah. And Sean, and I don't know if you know this, Don, but Sean is a veteran. And Sean, this kind of, I was just thinking about with the yoga, is that like something they stress in the military? Like, do they even cover, like, long-term health and flexibility, and, especially if you're out there on the field, you want to
go there now. That they do that. Not necessarily the yoga, but they do. I mean, before every single time we worked out, or before you even did anything, even if it was a ruck march, you had to stretch. You had to make sure that your body was ready to endure what you're about to put it through. Because I mean, what we put the body through day in and day out wasn't natural. It wasn't a natural thing. But you have to make sure that it can do these things. And so even now, at the age I am now, I'm older now, and I'm still. Heck, I can still do a cartwheel at my house. So
I like to see that. Hold on, time out. Hold on.
Come on now.
You can still do a cartwheel.
I can still do a roundabout in my house.
A roundabout. He upgraded. He went from cartwheel to roundabout. Next thing you know, he's gonna be doing gainers and all types of backflips.
Hey, give me time. All over the place. Give me time to happen. Give me time to happen. But I'm just saying, it requires you to be flexible. And now in the program I took later on after I got the Army, for my other issues. It encourages you.
My other issues.
Well, my heart issues. It's my heart. I have a heart issue. So, but it encourages you to take yoga, things like that. To increase your blood flow, to increase your circulation.
Right.
So, that's when I actually started taking it.
And, all right. Well, hey,
I like it.
If the cartwheels help, keep doing them.
Hey,
doctor recommendation.
You're a hater because you can't do it.
You're going to
just a hater because you can't do it.
I'm having heart problems. Oh, have you been doing cartwheels? Like, nah, like you should do some roundabouts. And get your heart pumping.
Well, I mean, don't forget about when we went down to Panama and they had the national cheering competition down there. So.
Oh yeah.
Spill some.
Oh, wait a minute, hold
on. Spill some now.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was just, we didn't think a cheerleading competition would get that packed. Like, it was packed.
Yeah, it's so. A lot of people from up north, when we go, especially, I mean, high school too, but mainly colleges, when they have spring break, obviously they come to the warmest place they know, which is, if you're not going out the country, you're probably going down to Florida or maybe what's the place in South Carolina? City. Myrtle Beach or something like that.
Myrtle Beach.
So yeah, man, we used to go there and it got wild. You know what the sad part is? I wish we took more photos because you'd be surprised how much you literally forget. Like, you just forget what happened. And thank God we grew up in the era where we were kind of like the first to experiment with Facebook and like MySpace. Honestly, half my life is on Facebook right now. Like, it's crazy.
You look at those flashbacks. I'm like, man, I can't remember acting like that, but I know what happened that day.
Yeah, and then Facebook got
the nerve. That's why you still have your.
Listen, Facebook got the nerve to give you that memory reminder, whatever the hell it is. He'd be like 10 years ago today, and I'm like, oh, what the hell was I doing? Oh my God, shirt off, missing a lens in my glasses.
Your eyes are squint, and
squint,
and you don't remember why.
Don't even got hair on my face. It was rough.
But even if you go back in time and look at the calendar, you can be like, man, that was a Tuesday night. Like, I did that on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how, like, the weekend was more of the chill day, and like Monday through Friday was like the weekend pretty much.
Man, it was wild.
And we would be up till, I don't know, man, all night. Pretty much pulling all-nighters. And
days in a row.
Yeah, days in a row. You got exam tomorrow, you got class tomorrow. And I'm not saying, like, obviously I'm more responsible now. But back then, you show up late. Oh, God, I don't even want to talk about it. So So Dom, so you're gonna have the gym going. So is this something you're gonna do by yourself, as far as like you're gonna run it, or you're just gonna have like people come in and are you teaching classes, or how's it gonna work?
Yeah, so like right now I'm doing just free workouts, free group workouts in the park, MLK Park down the street.
Okay.
So the way it's going to work is I'll have to run the show to begin with. You know, I'm not counting on getting this type of support from a bank to get a loan. So I've been taking donations for the free workouts. I'm up to like $4,000.
Nice.
I'm looking at some properties. Yeah, man, it's been overwhelmingly good. But I'm looking at some properties. I'm trying to get that industrial commercial like garage feel.
Okay.
I don't need much space just because it's a startup and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew.
Right.
So, looking at like 800 to 1,200 square feet, trying to stay rent around like under $1,000 a month, which can happen. It's just that they're far and few in between. But,
but the good thing
right
is,
now,
I was gonna say the good thing is, man, like what you're teaching, you don't need a lot of equipment, so you pretty much just need space. And I think a lot of times people open up gyms, the biggest cost is paying for equipment and obviously memberships and stuff like that. But
if you don't mind me asking, how do you handle the equipment costs? Are you just going for a personal loan or what?
So basically, where I'm sitting at right now, in my mind, I just need enough money to get 3 months of rent. And I've got a little bit of equipment here. I've got a couple battle ropes. I've got about 3 or 4 core balls. I've got a couple medicine balls.
Okay.
A plethora of free weights. So I would have stuff to already go into it.
Right.
Okay.
Just to keep my current clientele and be able to work them out and still make some money. And as I'm making money, some of this stuff, guys, they'll lease some of this stuff. But if I'm going for the stuff that I'm needing, like I need 8 punching bags, 4 squat racks, and that's pretty much the prime stuff. The other stuff is all accessories. So like kettlebells, big tires, those are all accessories. It's the heavy bags are like, to get the full setup for a heavy bag, you're talking $175 a piece.
Right.
But, those don't need to come in 8 at a time. You need, I can get those 2 at a time, schedule 2 people to do boxing classes at a time for personal training, and just consistently grow, consistently get that income. And then once I've got everything, okay, now I've got everything. Let's run on full cylinders for a year, see where we're at, and then upgrade if we have to. If we got to upgrade the building, or if we just got to upgrade the equipment. Either way, it's very minimal exposure as far as losing money.
Right. And the good thing is, and a lot of people don't realize, like weights last a long gym equipment lasts forever. Like,
bro, I'm sitting here looking at Marketplace like, dudes are selling 50-year-old dumbbells rusty for $25 a piece. Like,
exactly. And the good thing is, this is a perfect, like, I'm not trying to say like it being a pandemic is a good thing, but no, it's kind of like a perfect time to really get people to focus on their health and fitness, because obviously we know, with this going on, the most people who are high risk are with underlying conditions. Now, obviously not all conditions are related to, you working out and exercising, but majority of them can be prevented. So I think
they'd be helped though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is definitely a wake up call for, a lot of people. The only downside is yes, fitness is important, and this is people can really boost their immune system, but there's also that fear of spreading a virus or being in contact with people. So it's like a double-edged sword. But I think at the end of the day, if you are teaching or training anyone to improve their health, man, I mean, that's a good thing regardless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You need to get Sean up there with you.
Hey, I've been doing laps in the pool. I got a bike now. Whatever. Yeah.
he just moved.
I'm 150. I'm 150 push-ups a day right now. So
what's funny? I haven't seen none of this. You see what he said? He can do a roundabout. Really? He can do a backflip. He can do a kickflip. He can.
The address.
Push-ups. He do a laps. He's Michael Phelps.
The address.
Listen, I'll come over after this.
That's the next episode. That's the next episode.
You know the address. I'm at my 50 for the day. I'm trying to get up to 300 a day.
what's the name of that show where they like have all the people doing like all the different exercises and climbing a rope like Battle Ninja or something like that?
I thought it was that new show on Netflix called Lava Rock or whatever.
Nah, that was trash.
Lava Floor.
I don't like the floor is lava or something like that.
The floor is lava. That's it.
You talk about Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, Ninja Warrior.
They don't put nobody like athletic on there. It's always like soccer moms and part-time firemen. I mean, no firemen, but like it's nobody you'd be like would be not surprised that they completed the course. And don't get me wrong, the course has improved since it first started. Because remember that show was originally, and I think in Japan, and it was it was really silly. Everybody was unathletic, and then they moved to here, and they're selective. They're not gonna pick some dude that just came out of playing college football. No, because they lose money in the ratings and stuff like that. So it's a funny show. It's entertaining, but I always get pissed. I'm like, man, if I was on there, man, I swear,
hey, they're about to fall off that rope.
Yeah, it was big when I was at
jump up there.
When I was at duty, we would have these little get-togethers, right? Because we were deployed and we had nothing else to watch. So we would have these little get-togethers where watching this stupid show, yelling like, "Why not us? Why not?" Because everything they did was our obstacle course that we had to do like at least once a month. That's all it was. But especially when it first came out.
You were toured in Afghanistan.
Both Afghanistan and Iraq.
Which one was the least scary? I guess they're probably both scary. Because I hate like when I don't know where I'm at, let alone be in another country. Like, where are we at right now? I can't read none of these signs. I don't know none of the language. I'm pretty sure that dude holding the AK over there.
Oh, that's both countries. You're not gonna upset like a dude.
Hell, I get anxiety watching the TV shows. I've been watching Jack Ryan. I'm like, man,
what is it, Jack Ryan?
Oh, if only it was that cool. I'm just saying, if only it was that cool.
It's a lot more than that.
What is Jack Ryan?
I'm just saying. He's Tom Clancy Jack Ryan on Amazon.
He got two first names, Jack Ryan?
Jack Ryan.
Hey, Jack Ryan's
good. Two first names, man.
It's good, man. It was actually a movie. It was a movie too, but they turned it into a series. Well, it was a book. They turned it into a movie. But Tom Clancy's got it like he's all over the board.
I read all.
He has the Rainbow Six video games.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
all that.
But like, wait,
I read almost all his books.
Did you guys read the book or no?
I've read all of them.
You've read Tom Hanks. What's it called? Jack Ryan.
Some of All Fears, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, all that.
Do you prefer to read the book of something or watch the movie? Because like for instance, like the Lord of the Rings, right? Or I don't know, Harry Potter or something like that. Like, what do most people feel as if like is more entertaining? I mean, I know
it depends. It depends which one you see first or which one you read first. Because sometimes you read books, you'll see the movie, and the movie doesn't resonate well or correlate well. Like there's certain stuff that just like that wasn't in the book.
That happens to me a lot because like I'll be reading a book and I'll be pronouncing everything wrong, and I watch the movie and I'll be like, oh, that's how you say that? Like I was saying this whole time.
Have you ever seen like a book come out and seen a movie come out? And you're like, I can't watch that. I can't read that book because it's gonna ruin that movie. So I'm just gonna watch the screw the book.
But you can't read the book because it's gonna ruin the movie.
Yeah, you just don't even touch the book because it's not gonna do the movie's not gonna do justice.
I'm a visual learner, so I gotta watch the movie first.
Yeah, but even if you look at comic books, books, like when you look at the X-Men comic books, I had all of them. None of these comic books are coming to the big screen.
No, I know.
It's almost frustrating. Like they're missing by this much. Like
some good stories too. Some great stories. Like the Apocalypse story. It was a much better story in the comic book. Apocalypse Now. Oh my goodness.
What is that?
All that the Age of Apocalypse. Yeah, all that stuff would have been.
See, awesome. I didn't read it. Like for some reason, I read like only book I can remember was Animorphs. Remember that where they was like people that could turn into animals? Nah.
What was it called?
I'm embarrassed to say it now.
I don't even remember it now.
It was like Animorphs. I swear, it was Animorphs. They were. I don't know if they were animals that turned into people or people that turned into animals. But like it was cool. Like they were. One dude was a wolf. Obviously, the wolf is always a character, and then one dude was like a snake. One dude was a snake. Yeah, he wasn't trustworthy. And another dude was, they were like some, I don't know if they could just turn into any animal or like just certain, I don't know, man. This is like 20 some years ago. You just forget stuff.
I'm gonna have to Google this after the call.
Yeah, I know, right?
God, I know, right? Now I'm embarrassed. I read Animorphs.
That's gonna have our listeners going.
You know damn well ain't no Animorphs movie.
What the hell is an Animorphs?
Like, man, is this real?
You're gonna have our listeners going Animorphs. They're gonna be coming next week going Animorphs. Who the hell's an Animorphs?
Yeah.
Is he talking about Morphin Rangers or some shit?
Nah, I know. Everybody know what Power Rangers is. I'm not ashamed to say I used to watch that. That was my show before it kind of, when they basically fire all the original staff or actors and stuff like that, and then they revamp it, and it's just not the same anymore. I think I was going to he was growing up around that age, so it's like, Power Rangers, whatever. I'll play sports.
Yeah, I mean, Power Rangers are cool. Then they start going like Power Ranger Neo and then Power Ranger like whatever. I'm like, bro, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, they have all these colors. You think like the Power Rangers now, like they have like the cool colors of today, like they got like matte black and turquoise, like just not your usual regular uniform.
Where's the retros at?
What color is that? I don't know. Magenta.
Cherry plum. Cherry plum.
Today, it's I know we've been kind of bored with this kind of quarantine, but isn't today the kickoff of the NBA season?
Yeah, I think there's a game on right now
or whatever.
No, they're not scrimmaging. These are.
Is it an actual game?
These games.
No way.
So, how do y'all feel about that though? It's like even. It's just like a pickup game with teams, and they're gonna get the same awards. Like you shouldn't even get a championship. It should just be like a congrats, you won this tournament.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a basketball head. I've always, I love basketball, but I also know that it's something. And it's sad to say this, but it's a positive distraction for what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff that's going on, and it's sad to say that, but coming from a Black household, we watch sports, we play sports,
right?
So to keep kids in the house or keep adults somewhere together and kind of relaxing and not worried about the other stuff, you're watching LeBron James, you're watching Paul George, you're watching Kawhi Leonard. And you're not doing anything. And, sometimes, talking about sports or playing sports or going to watch sports kept me out of trouble and then kept my parents off my back if they knew I was going to do something that involved sports. So I'm all for it.
Were you going to say, Sean?
Right. No, I was just going to ask him if he thinks this is, like he says, already a needed thing. So with it being a needed thing, do you think football season is going to happen? Do you think football is going to happen?
It better happen.
59 NFL players have tested positive as of
59.
This is the hard part because there are more NFL players
and
than there
no
are
more
NBA
preseason.
players.
Yeah.
So you got more coaches, you got more players, you got more trainers. Like just entire staff is like massive. Even if you think about high school, like we took 2 buses every single away game, and it's like
very true.
You can't do that with football. I mean, I would hope that it does still happen, but me thinking it's going to happen, it's it's up in the air for me.
Well, they've been saying like they may just have it 25% capacity as far as the stadiums or whatever, or worse come to worse, if they don't have any people there, it would just be a game you watch on TV. But my thing is, so like and I said this in other episodes, but I bought season tickets for the Bucks, not with the intention of going to the games. It just I'll probably sell most of them because I don't I'm not a huge Bucks fan, but I bought these 2 days before Brady had signed with the Bucks, so obviously the value went up. So I'm like, oh hell yeah. And then I looked at the schedule and I'm like, wow, we play the Chiefs here, the Packers, like we get a really good home schedule. And then the Corona hit, I'm just like, shoot. And every person that has season tickets, you have like a representative, whatever, that reaches out to you, and he's supposed to be, if you have questions, you talk to him, and I haven't heard from him in like a month. Like he's been real quiet. Man. So I don't know, man. It's like here, like not only will they probably go to 25%, but I'm thinking about like, what are they gonna do for the Super Bowl? Because Super Bowl's here. You can't have a Super Bowl and nobody can go. It's the bowl at that point. It ain't super no more. It's just the bowl.
Yeah, it's just another bowl game.
I mean, it's practically just winter workouts. You think about it when you were in school, and if you was playing sports, the only time there wasn't anybody else to kind of look was during practice and summer league. That's you just got other players looking. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know.
I just feel like if some people, because I know they'll give them that option, probably just like with basketball. If you want to play, you can play. If you don't feel safe playing, That's completely fine. You know, we're not going to hold you to it. But I feel like in the NFL, you know, their contracts are not guaranteed. They get paid like weekly checks. They have a lot more on the line. And it's kind of put them in a position like, well, do I care more about my health or about my income? You know, so it's kind of tough. I think there will be a season just because I don't think the NFL can afford to lose that much. Without having an NFL season, they're going to lose a ton of money, and which I'm sure they know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of for, I don't know if you guys seen, but they're working on like the mask prototypes to where the helmet prototypes to where it's like covered. It's like a mask, but it's a helmet. It looks pretty cool actually, but
oh yeah, I see.
I'm okay with
it's
that.
It's like a normal helmet, but it's got a mask on the inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that prototype yet. I gotta definitely look that up.
Yeah, it looks like pretty much the standard they're gonna be putting out.
So if LeBron James wins the championship, it's gonna be an asterisk next to it.
Yes.
You know it is.
Unfortunately,
that's what I was
yes. And I'm a
NBA
fan.
COVID season. Just like you get the NBA lockout season, NBA COVID season, he won that year.
I forgot it was a lockout season.
For what it's worth, this is the only time that I can say confidently, if LeBron doesn't win, you may not see him in the championship again.
You think so?
Yeah.
You may not see him. You may not see him in the champion because you know what I told people.
You think he knows that? Is that what?
I don't think he knows that because you know when you're a competitive player or competitive by nature, you're not thinking of when my time is up.
Right.
But the problem is, people are seeing that. Like it's no secret, LeBron's 35. You know what I'm saying? And when you're looking at guys like Danny Green, Avery Bradley, like even the younger players on the team, they looking at him like, bro, you 35. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. You ain't gonna be here forever. You start having those dad talks. I'm not gonna be here forever.
Yeah, that's true.
And
you put him on punishment.
I always right.
Yeah, imagine LeBron putting like you as teammate. He put you on punishment. I'm like, what the hell?
He probably do. Like,
yeah.
You know what? You give me 10 laps.
Take 5.
You don't come out. You don't come out your hotel room when we get to dinner. Don't come out that hotel room.
Yes, James.
Don't give out no autographs. No interviews. But even at the beginning of the season, I'm like, man, if LeBron has a healthy team, he's got the best chance to win this thing. And right now with COVID, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because everybody on their team is healthy.
Yeah, that's kind of weird how all their players are healthy and everybody else is sick.
The only place they're not going to see is Avery Bradley, and that's because by choice he's not deciding to come. But LeBron gets his Henny God, he gets J.R. Smith. So
I almost think like they up to some like they hired like some espionage company, like, all right, we need you to have these players sick and make sure it happens. You know what I mean? Like they just I mean, I'm a Laker fan, I'm a confused Laker fan, I guess you can say that. So it's like
this is gonna be the first time
Lakers to win, but not LeBron.
Cheer for the Lakers.
Oh, that's what's up.
This is the first time I ever cheer for the Lakers. Only because I'm a LeBron fan. So that's I don't have anything against him. It's just I'm a LeBron fan, so yeah.
I can respect that because some people just cannot come out and say that. And it frustrates me. Like, you're a LeBron fan. You're not a Miami Heat fan. You're not a Cleveland fan. No. So,
I mean,
and that's how I feel about Melo. That's how I feel about Melo.
You see he lost a lot of weight. You see how much weight he dropped?
Bro, I love Melo. I don't care what nobody say. He's been one of my favorite players forever.
He lost weight. He ain't going to make him shoot better or pass the ball.
But hey, look, check his stats. He did good. He's been doing good.
Who's he playing for now?
I heard you're in Brazil.
The Blazers.
The Blazers?
Yeah.
I think once you start like, at the height of most careers, I feel like you got your team, you got 1 or 2 teams that you stick with. But I feel like once you start bouncing around 3-4 teams, I think that's just a sign to like retire. But unless it's like, obviously Vince Carter.
There's been some. I mean, take my dude from my hometown. God, what's his name?
You got a ton of them. You got Vince Carter. You got
he tall, went from Minnesota to
all of them.
I'm taking went from Minnesota Timberwolves to boom.
KG.
So he went for a while.
Yeah, well, no, he went from Minnesota to Boston. He was fine, but after he got his transfer to Boston, he's kind of bounced around.
Didn't he retire from Boston?
No, he went to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot.
He went to Brooklyn.
That was a team.
But even Paul or what's the dude's name? Paul Pierce. He left Boston. He went to the Clippers. He went to Brooklyn. He went to Washington. Like he went around the block a few times.
You think they just do that to like, you know what? I wonder what it'd be like to play on this team. Like it's just like,
you know, I just think it's just for the love of the game. I think they just still want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When do you hang it? I mean, like,
and everybody wants to be number one.
When do you hang it up? Like, for instance, like Vince Carter, he just retired. What is he, like 42 or something like that? Up in his 40s.
Vince Carter hung it up because he was, you know, he was ready to be done.
I kind of feel bad for him because I really wanted him to like just get a taste 100%. Of a championship. You know?
Well, I was mad when he signed with Atlanta. When he re-signed with Atlanta, I was so pissed at him. Like, bro, go to a contender. Go to a contender. And he wasn't washed up. He's not playing 40 minutes a game. Give him 20 minutes.
Exactly.
He's going to play defense. He ain't going to make no stupid turnovers. He can still hit open jump shots, and he's still athletic. Not the same athletic, but
but he can still hang. He's
like
still NBA caliber, Yeah,
if he wanted to, he'd still dunk on somebody.
That's
and
crazy, man.
He caught a few bodies, but yeah, man, people stick around for a while. Even Grant Hill got injured and went from Suns, Clippers, like he was all over the place too. So
speaking of
real quick. So since the season started off, and we all know they had the bubble in Orlando. We all know that the bubble's already been breached a few times already.
Breach pop.
I mean, just saying. Do you think it's gonna hold up the rest of the season, or you think it's gonna end?
This is what I'll say. I'll say that it's going to hold up only because the more people that get tested for COVID, the more positive cases we're going to see.
Right.
With the NBA bubble, and it's almost like the workplace. Like for us at work, if we go in and we have a fever and we can't come back to work until we've got cleared by a doctor and been away for 2 weeks. So guys can essentially breach the bubble, come back, have a temperature, be away for 2 weeks, come back to the bubble. So,
well, how long is it supposed to last? Like this temporary season, I guess.
This season, I think it's like 15 games,
so
16
like
games.
And a half,
so it's like it's
they already said Russell's out. They said Russell, he's out of the whole series now.
Who? Russell?
Really?
Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
I literally just saw something
because he tested positive.
See, so like I'm saying, like when big names like that, like are sick or they're not playing, it's just like what are we watching? Are we watching the Lakers, practice scrimmage right now, or
I know, right?
Like I get it though. Like it's some sports is better than no sports. I'm so sick of I'll be at work and the only thing that's on is golf and an empty soccer stadium. That's pretty much it. Or like some on replay that happened 2 years ago or something like that. So I mean, I support it. And then isn't baseball making a comeback too? As far as
baseball made a comeback. Yep.
Okay, that's good. And speaking of comebacks, I know we're talking about Vince Carter and his ace. Did you guys happen to see T.O. racing? Was it Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
no,
he still ran a 4.4.
Man,
he still runs a 4.4 at 46
no way.
Yes,
it's wild.
Yes. I mean,
obviously he was a couple steps behind Tyreek,
right?
But still, at 46 to beat like, I'm 32. I'm not a couple steps behind on Tyreek.
Would you sign a T.O. if physically he was average or a little bit better than average, or do you just man, he's too old?
Hell yes. Like you get guys like that, like A, you're gonna boost ticket sales for sure.
Right.
B, you think about guys like Tom Brady. You think about guys like Gronk, even Jerry Rice. Like Jerry Rice played well into his 40s, and he was good. But what I always tell people when it comes to sports, resting is one of the biggest keys. Mm-hmm. And I think T.O. exited the game at like 35, 36, and he was essentially in his prime. It's just he was babying an injury still.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just taking longer to heal, But I think, him taking 8-9 years off, like, he's probably in the best shape he's ever been.
Come back. I mean, like, obviously I wouldn't want him to get hurt or anything like that. But, some team will probably
pop in for a season.
Maybe put him on like a practice squad to start with. And then if he's good, because when you got veteran leadership like that, it can't hurt anything. Only bad things with T.O., obviously he has that reputation of, being a hot head. And I'm 100% sure he's not like that now.
Compared to who's out there now?
Well, I'm saying, but that's just like, stuff
he
like
fits
that.
right in.
Stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Odell Beckham, right? But stuff like that on your resume can sometimes hurt you. And speaking of stuff that's hurting you on your resume, and this actually that doesn't make any sense, but what the hell is going on with Mr. West? I know y'all been seeing this. Man. What is going on with Ye? Is it the Yeezys? Is it the shoes? Is it the Yeezys that make you do that?
The delegation would like to trade Mr. Ye.
You are serious. You're serious, man.
We'd like to trade him for a draft pick. Like,
yeah, who can we get?
Like,
who can we trade Kanye West as black people? Who can we trade Kanye West for?
No, I'll take Aaron Rodgers, man.
Aaron Rodgers. All right. So
give me Tommy from Power. Give me Tommy.
We'll take that.
There you go. I'll take Tommy.
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that with a second round pick. But yeah, man, like I was like, a part of me is like, is he just joking? Like, is he just doing this for entertainment? Is he doing it for attention, or is he like in his head 100% serious?
Man, my heart breaks for him. Honestly, I think he's going through something. I think he's been going through something since he lost his mom.
Didn't he say? Isn't he bipolar?
Yeah.
And not even free.
Yeah, but that'll just make you want to run for president.
Right. But I mean I'll tell you this: if he'd have never said anything of what he said the other day ago, he probably would have had a nice handful of votes. Not enough to matter, but he would have had a lot of support.
Well, a lot of people were saying
it would have mattered, and we know it don't. It would have mattered to the people who want it to matter, basically.
Right.
He has a chance to steal votes. If he wants
well,
to.
yeah, that's what people were saying, that like, he was only running just to steal votes away from what's his face from Biden. So Trump, I don't, there's pictures in the past of him and Trump being buddies, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't like to dive too. I'll say this: I don't like to judge too harshly on the things I really don't know too much about, or like just based off of what I see on TV or on the media. Because I say this all the time. When you watch the news, you watch any type of media outlet. At the end of the day, they're there to get views. They're a TV show. They have ratings that they have to, meet every month. So they're going to put out any bullshit to get you to look, click, watch, or whatever. It doesn't even matter if it's true or not. So
it's a business.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And the influence of it though it's crazy, man. I'll be on Facebook sometimes and I don't say anything, but you got friends. I wouldn't even call them friends, but just people in your friends list on Facebook, and posting stuff. I'm just like, man, that's and I'm not gonna go through everybody and try to unfriend everybody because I disagree with some views, but it's just like how quick people are to have an opinion on something without any type of credible source, without any type of research, without any type of like thought process of like, wait a minute, maybe I should double check this before I post this, or wait a minute, my boss and CEO are friends with me on Facebook. Let me and it's crazy, man, and it's almost getting worse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I mean,
go ahead.
I just, for me, like, I took the time to unfollow people, but I didn't unfollow people that every time I saw something, it was the people that were just like very consistent and just, beating a dead horse.
Right.
Like that, I'm just like, look, I get it. You're a Trump supporter. Bro, I don't want to see that every day. Yeah. There's got to be something else going on in your life.
Exactly. Is he paying? That's what I'm thinking. Like, is he paying you? Are you getting paid for it?
Go buy a new truck, get laid, whatever it is. But it's got to be something other than Trump today, please.
Yeah. And the thing is, and a lot of times, with politics, a lot of people are just loyal to whatever party they are affiliated with, and it doesn't matter who the hell their candidate is or who's running, because it's like 2015, we can say the same people who were against, we'll say Obama or whoever he's running against, supported views that Trump now supports. You know what I mean? It's just like flip-flopping back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't support abortion 5 years ago, and then Trump's president, he's like, well, I support abortion now. It's like, well, no, I support. Like, come on, like, think for yourself. At the end of the day, people are going to do what's best for them. They're going to vote whatever. I will hope they will vote whatever would benefit them. So it's just it's
them as an individual.
It's a popularity kind. Yeah, that's the only thing about Trump. He's not like he's not someone you want to have speak at like your wedding or something like that. He's not a good representation of everybody.
he's a Trump groomsman. But hey, man, remember that time 15 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, if you're speaking at a wedding, you better be saying some positive stuff. But with positive stuff, Dom, your podcast, No Bad News. First of all, I love the title. I think it speaks for itself. But what made you, if you can go into detail, like, what not only made you want to speak on the things you do, but why? In a sense, like, what? I mean, I'm really big with like positive energy.
Why are you choosing the topics that you're choosing?
Exactly. I'm about to bite my tongue off.
Man, because I got tired of people telling me to do it. You know, it started off, man, and I don't want to take up too much of the segment with this, but it started off probably about 6 years ago. C-Rock knows. Well, it was more than 6 years ago. 2009.
Damn. What year is it? 11.
It's
11 years.
11 years ago. I got popped with a DUI. And
oh man, yeah, I remember that.
It was, maybe that was a blessing in disguise, because I know you guys have fun, and I thought I was going to have fun. So who knows what would have happened if I didn't go to jail that night? But you know, fast forward, you know, for like probably 4 or 5 years, I had to specifically get certain jobs because certain jobs wouldn't hire me because I couldn't pass a background check because of DUI.
Right.
Oh, and wow. Like that was more embarrassing and made me hit the lowest low than the actual DUI itself. Like sitting through jail overnight and then getting out of jail and going to jail for another 30 days. Like that didn't break me. That didn't break me. Me not being able to exercise my talents that I knew I was capable of, and them saying like, "Oh yeah, you're good at this," but I'm seeing this little thing here on your resume. Right. You're a no-go. So me not getting the opportunities that I wanted, and then finally, once I hit my lowest low, I was just like, man, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of trying to do the things I want to do if I'm gonna keep just hitting these dead ends every time I get some momentum? And so finally, you know, I don't know, man. One day it just, you know, a light clicked. I was drunk again, driving home, and like I was
sometimes
probably,
the best times.
Man, like literally, I was driving home and I thought a cop was behind me, and I'm like, oh. Man, it's about to happen again. Yep. So I'm like in my car sweating. I'm just waiting for these lights to come on. Like it's so funny because I started putting stuff in my glove box. Like, let me put this up so they don't take this out of my pocket when they take all my stuff away. Man, there was not a cop behind me by any means, and nothing even remotely close to a cop car. It was a Zuzu. I'm like, what? Why is my panicking so bad? So I pull up home and stuff like that, and like I just had this wild dream, like, and it was basically like the younger me talking to me in the mirror. Like the whole time I'm just sitting in this mirror talking to myself. It's basically like, bro, you gave up on yourself a long time ago. Like, you're not positive, you're negative, you're down on yourself. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, and that shit's contagious, man.
It was wild. Like I woke up like just a completely like a whole new mindset, a whole mindset of like, I can accomplish what I want. I just got to stop depending on people, and I got to stop like holding myself accountable for the things that I have no control over. I can hold myself accountable for the things that I have control, but for the things that like, if I know I can't pass a background check, I need to start looking for jobs and careers that are going to look past that. Or I need to do such a good job at the interview and just be upfront with it. Like, look, I'm the best person for the job. The only thing I got is a DUI, and I promise that won't be a reason why, you know, that it won't affect my performance.
Right.
The next day, I get an interview to a car dealership. And I flat out tell the manager, I'm like, look, I want to come work for you guys. I want to sell cars. I got a DUI. You're probably not going to hire me because I can't get under insurance.
He looks me dead. He selling cars.
he looks me dead in the eye, and he's all like, man, the fact that you told me that, he's like, as long as you can pass a piss test, he's like, I'm going to give you a shot.
You're like,
nice.
I'm like, bet, because I can pass those.
Nice. I got that all day.
But when I started working at the car dealership, the owner of the dealership was like one of those guys who was just like, he did yoga at 6 a.m. He read books, and he was just like always had this positive mindset and would just encourage everybody. Like he'd send me text messages at 10 o'clock at night, like, hey, you're doing a great job. Like, Bobby, I sold 2 cars this month, and we got 4 days left in the month. It's fine. Those are the longest 4 days you're going to need to sell as many cars. And then boom, I sell 10 cars in 4 days. And I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? And what kind of stuff did he put in? Like, what kind of voodoo did he put on me? But it was contagious. So he started inviting me to, you know, church with him. He started inviting me to dinner with him. And, you know, this dude's, you know, he's probably bringing in $4, $5, $6 million a year in his bank. And he's kicking it with his, you know, his newest, you know, car salesman. And, you know, just from there, I just, you know, started trying to find more positive things to put in my life, start trying to find more positive people to put in my life. And I'm no saint. So, you know, I still do the things that I want to do, the things that I personally enjoy, but I do it with a different group of people. Nothing against the people that I used to hang out with, but I just only do it with the people that have the same mindset.
Exactly.
They're working towards something. Fast forward to now, and even the last couple of years, you know, I would just randomly have these thoughts, these positive thoughts, posted as a Facebook status. And it just started happening every day. And it got to the point where my head was hurting so bad, I had to get a diary, wake up in the middle of the night and write these things down. Yeah. And it got to the point one of my buddies was just like, bro, you just need to do a podcast or do a blog. I'm like, no, I ain't got no time for that. Then my coworkers telling me, then my mom telling me, then my wife telling me. And I'm like,
eventually it's like, damn, all right, I guess I'll do it.
I'll do it. And that's where No Bad News came up, because I always noticed too, I haven't really watched the news in probably 4 years.
Right.
Just because, you know, I grew up in Detroit. Watching the news was almost sitting at a funeral service.
Nothing good.
You find out who died. You find out who got raped. You find out who's missing. You don't find out about the kid that cleans up after the protest, and then one of the police officers buys him a car because he's going to college. You don't find out about, you know, the kid that lives on a block that's all white people and paints Black Lives Matter on the sidewalk. Right. You know, whether you believe it or not, it's those positive stories that people need to see the other side of what's going on, because the media, it's a business. They're going to get cut a check as long as they get 35 million viewers every night.
About the ratings.
And for some reason, people love to see negative stuff.
They love it. That anchor's going to get extension. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's on Apple TV, the Today Show or the Daily Show or whatever. But you know, it shows you the politics and being an anchor and what comes with it. Like, they want the drama in your life and out of your life. Like, bring the drama from your life onto the stage. We want that. You do something crazy, we want that. That means more views. You get a contract extension. And it's just like, these are the behaviors that we are rewarding, you know? So
they can take what they want on the air. That's
I mean, they're above the law. They're above the law.
So. Definitely. You know, and the, you know, sometimes I think about, you know, when I'm watching these, you know, whatever your local news station is, or even the bigger outlets, and, you know, these anchors, and obviously they're reading off a teleprompter, most of them, but like, do they consciously know what type of information they're putting out, like the effect? Do you think they know they just don't care because they're getting paid for it, or they actually
the hurtful part,
just doing their job?
The hurtful part. That is the most hurtful part. Because like I said, like, even growing up in Detroit, some of these anchors, they live in Michigan, but they probably drive an hour to work every day. You know, you go and report the Detroit news and then drive to your $500,000 home back in Bloomfield Hills.
Yeah,
you know,
it's easy to be like, hey, yeah, they fucked up over there, but I live over here.
Yeah, and that's probably what they look at. They look at their script for the day like, oh man,
exactly.
We pay taxes in Bloomfield Hills.
The only person I respect on the news is the weatherman and the hurricane. It's just it's windy as shit out here. Y'all know that already.
I can't change this shit, man.
Never be lying. Right? They out there and blow it away. But yeah, man. You know, it's. I wish there was more positive news out there, and I don't even like to talk about.
They even have a.
Go ahead.
Negativity is so popular that they came out with a channel for murder porn.
For what is it?
Murder.
What's it called? Murder porn? What is that?
That's what literally it's called.
Please don't tell me.
Discovery. It's like all shows about murder, mayhem, and just killing. That's all.
It's a TV show?
A channel. It's a channel devoted to that 24/7, 7 days a week.
Like, who watches that?
Millions of people watch this. Millions of people watch
Murder Channel
daily. Yes,
bro. If
you might as well just call it Murder Channel.
If they can watch Tiger King, they can watch anything.
Damn, I think people like to watch that stuff because it makes them maybe feel better or less. You know, I guess it makes it seem like their life is not that bad. Oh, you know, they're out there killing over in, you know, Texas or some shit like that, but I'm over here, I'm safe. So, look at them, I'm doing so much better. Maybe that's why. Because think about the reverse side of it. If you just only saw, you know, stuff that was people making a ton of money and rich and happy and kissing each other, eventually start looking at yourself and like, well, am I happy? Am I, you know? So people always like to compare. It's always just a comparison pretty much. But yeah, Murder Channel, I probably won't be watching that, but Murder Channel speaks for itself.
Trust me, it's out there, man.
You're gonna be watching Animorphs. That's what you're gonna be watching.
Yeah, I know, that's right. He's gonna find that again.
Listen, when they come out with an Animorphs reboot, I'm gonna be the first one in the theater, the front row, eating popcorn, watching people turn to wolves and wolves turn to cats. I don't know. Shit was crazy. It was a
in
book.
the next Spider-Verse movie, he's gonna be looking for animals.
Listen, they running out of movies. Yeah, okay. They're running out of movies to make, so don't be surprised if you see Animorphs on a big screen pretty soon here. And then
running out says that, because they got Marvel running out.
Did you guys also see the that St. Louis couple? They got actually charged with felonies for aiming their guns at protesters. I only seen that picture.
They got charged with felonies, really?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't look into it.
Was it the ones that were actually at their home, or was it all?
Yeah, they were the ones that came out to their front porch
and pointing the guns. Yeah. They got. I did not see that. I did not see that.
I'm all for like protecting what's yours. I get it, but I am also for like, and this kind of, and Shauna talked about this, kind of plays into the whole protest and we'll say the whole like cops and their when they run into black men and all that stuff. I think it's just a lot of people don't know how to recognize what a threat is, and when I say that, it's like, how can someone who has never been in a fight in life, no type of confrontation, and that's not a bad thing, never.
But is it not really a bad thing anymore?
No, I mean it's not a bad thing to not experience that.
Have gotten us to.
But what happens is, you put these same type of people who've never had these experiences, and you put them, you give them a badge and a gun, and people don't realize what a gun does. A gun is literally made to kill. Like, the guns ain't made to pop pimples. They made to shoot in the air. No, guns are literally made to kill. And it's just like, and I don't have any, people can own guns, and I'm okay with that. But like, I don't own a gun, and the reason being because it's like, well, one, I just don't feel I will ever be in a situation to where I would have to pull out a gun and shoot. I mean, at least I hope not. But I think like when you do own a gun, you feel as if you try to look for those situations. You know what I mean? You try to find, like, damn, I got a gun. I really want to use it.
Not always.
Look at that photo. You got one dude holding some type of assault rifle, and you got the other lady holding a little James Bond looking pistol, and she's aiming. And I don't even have to go to a firearm class, but I do know this: you never pull your gun out unless you're ready to shoot and kill somebody. You never put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot. And it's just like you can just see just by the photo how the training, no
exactly, the untrained
kill somebody, and then it's like, well, we were protecting our property. Were you even threatened? Have you ever been punched in the face before? Like, you don't know what to expect. And then you put these people with no experiences, and like I said, you give them a gun and a badge, and then somebody gets rowdy, and all of a sudden they feel like they're fear for your life. Like, no, listen, get your ass whooped once or twice, and then you'll know the difference between when your life's in danger and when it's not.
Yeah. We actually just had a long talk about this a few weeks ago. With cops, it's more of a delicate situation the more you peel the layers back, because you think about it. And we had a chance to talk to a cop. I'm in a men's network group. Go ahead.
I gotta stop. It's not more delicate. We have in a war zone. We have rules that we have to go by. Things that we can and cannot do.
Yeah, was it rules of engagement?
We're rules of engagement. If we break those rules, we are severely punished to the point where we can come back here and go to jail. The same standard isn't held, and that is an issue.
Well, let me rephrase.
So it's not.
What I mean by delicate is people aren't looking at who they're giving guns and who they're giving that badge, and that's the problem, because it could be stopped if you do a psych eval up front, or every 30 to 60 days you do a one-on-one with your superior. The problem is these guys don't ever see a psych unless they have to pull their weapon.
Right.
So you can go from a domestic call to a traffic stop, and it's not like it used to be before before the 90s, where you had to live in the city that you were an officer of. Now you can live in the suburbs and be a police officer in the city.
Else. Yeah.
The problem is when you don't understand the culture, there's a disconnect. Yeah. There's fear. So now you've given, and that's what I mean by delicate. Like, now you've given somebody who literally is not prepared to stop anybody in the inner city. They're not prepared to stop a black man that's 6 feet, 256 pounds, coming from the boxing gym, still sweating. Because that's me.
Exactly.
That's me.
Right.
Like I leave the gym, I'm still sweating. I'm 256 pounds. You pull me over, you see me, you're gonna be like, bro, like
yeah, you automatically go into the
because they're in defense mode. They're defense mode. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, I can't see.
Dude, and I've seen it. Like my wife's seen it. My wife even like questioned, like, why? And I'm just like, look, they aren't prepared. Like they don't even know what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing, but they have no idea.
And like you were saying, like, not understanding the culture. And you can even, use like Sean, being even in the military, like when you go overseas, like be like, there is I'm sure there's a fear with soldiers because they're in an unknown area and they don't understand the culture. They don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's just
don't know the language. We don't know variables. What this person in front of us is saying.
So you're always on guard. And I think, that kind of equates to here, even though you would think that we know plenty about the cultures that live around us. So I don't know, man. It's a work in progress. I think it just needs to be a harder process to be a cop. Because I mean, think about it. You're a sergeant. Go ahead.
I have an unpopular idea for being a cop, and it kind of goes kind of against the whole you need to be smarter. I think personally that I think they need to relax some of the rules of becoming a cop, mainly because when it comes to having a criminal background, it's to the point where if you've had any kind of infraction, even so much more than anything more than a traffic ticket, you cannot be an officer, including. That is silly.
I want to cop about a little bit of edge to him.
A non-violent misdemeanor. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to be a cop. There's no reason why that should hinder me. Something I did when I was 16, 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
It stopped me from doing it when I was going to college, when
I've
obviously done stuff for myself. Why should that stop you from being an officer then?
Right.
I think those rules should be changed to that way people of our complexion can have more opportunities to be in a cop. Because we're the ones who are getting that misdemeanor, that DUI, or whatever that's going to stop you from being a cop anyway. It's not the other side.
Right. And I mean, it even goes back to what you were saying about, they never been punched in the face before. Like, if you've never been through something, how are you going to dismantle? And I'll even top it off with, I don't think people should be a cop. I think if you want to be a cop, you got to go through a 90-day trial without being able to have a weapon. Like, if you can't, if you can't use these hands, there's no way you should be a cop. Like, you should be able to go into combat and confidently be able to literally kick anybody's ass.
Yeah,
anybody's ass.
Without killing.
It's especially when like the numbers are in your favor. When it's like 4 of you and it's one of them and somebody's handcuffed.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, it's like
blows my mind.
And I can't speak on like what people think, what they're thinking in those situations, or their adrenaline pumping and stuff like that. But like you got to understand, like when you got to know when you're in control of the situation. Period. And if you have any doubts, then you should hang the badge and gun up. Period.
Right.
And go from there.
And that's the more scary part, because it's just like, what happens today? Because some of the dudes that they haven't been able to contain haven't really been that tough. Like, what happens today? You come across somebody that can really throw hands. And now you got 4 officers getting their ass whooped. Like, that's gonna look terrible.
Exactly.
Yes. It's gonna look terrible.
Not this lanky guy that's a little too tall for his size. That's all it is. He's too tall for his size. He's a little lanky, can't control himself, and you want to put him down.
Yep.
But
Sean, what was I gonna say? I was gonna go ahead and throw in that what to Florida.
You ready for what to Florida?
Yeah. Go ahead and explain to him how it works here.
All right, Mr. Dom. We're going to be playing what to Florida.
I like this.
Mr. Dom. We're going to be playing what to Florida. What Florida is a nice simple game where I'm going to break Florida up into 3 different parts. You have North Florida, which is Jacksonville, to basic Pensacola. I don't know how much.
He doesn't know where that's. So, you got to show him a map.
So,
hey, I know where the map at. Go ahead.
Yeah, he don't know where Pensacola is.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know where Jacksonville is, though.
I know where Jacksonville is.
So, that's North Florida. Yep. Then we're going to break down Middle Florida, which is pretty much, Orlando, where we are. Little Gainesville, where University of Florida is at, that's Middle Florida. Mm-hmm. Then South Florida is everything below us.
Miami.
Beach. Right? Miami, everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Below
like,
us.
Miami, I don't know. Yeah, anything that's not Miami, I'm just like, that's every.
Yeah, that's what it does too. That's exactly what it does. But with that being said, after I break those, that's the gist of it. Now I'm going to read 3 different stories. These 3 different stories happen somewhere in Florida. All you got to do is name where in Florida it happened. You don't have to name the city. You don't have to just name if it was North, Middle, or South Florida. They can all be in the same area, just so you know. Just put that out there.
Yeah, so we'll give you like a handicap. We'll let you get 1 freebie just because.
All right, that's cool.
Of
cool.
The area.
I'll take that.
All right. First story. Welcome to What Florida, everybody. All right, let's do it.
Now, we used to give gift cards, and I won every time, and I've never got mine yet.
Because you're a host, you
just
dummy.
In case you win, I don't know if you expect something because when I get by, you'll get yours.
You see what I work with? You see what I have to work with here?
That's messed up.
I'm just
messed up.
All right. Welcome to What Florida. First story. Florida man steals forklift because he was tired of walking. A Florida man who stole a forklift 2 months ago struck again, and he had the same reason. He didn't want to walk. That's right. It was his second time stealing the forklift.
He must work for the company. How do you know how to...
Right? Bradley Barefoot, who was 43 years old, was coincidentally, he does not look 43, by the way. He looks like he's had a hard life.
Yeah.
This is was coincidentally barefoot when he stole a forklift Wednesday, WKMG reported. When deputies found Barefoot, he parked the equipment in a spot for handicapped drivers. He was talking to himself while swearing and throwing his hands up.
Okay.
That's story one.
All right. I think I know what that said.
Story two. Florida man threatens to blow up lesbian woman's home after denying his sexual advances. Wow.
These all really happen, by the way.
These are all true.
This is a complete spam for my podcast.
A Florida man was arrested after he allegedly threatened to blow up a woman's home when she refused sexual advances. Waiter Nicholas Kevin Chu, 41, from a spot in Florida, was arrested on Saturday after he allegedly threatened his girlfriend's friend after she declined to have sex with him. The Herald first reported the county sheriff's department deputies. Yeah, you might have
gave it away with that one.
You might know, but it might be I might have thrown you off too.
Yeah,
arrived on Saturday at 2:46 p.m. at the American Legion after they received a call from the victim saying Chu had sent her threatening text messages, according to the police report obtained by Newsweek.
Okay. So he did he blow it up or no?
No, he was threatened.
Okay. You go to jail for that? Threatening to blow up a house?
I mean, probably if you got the means to do it.
Damn,
I'm sure he had the means.
Listen, I'm
sure it wasn't just a test. I'm sure he had some gas.
Like if he had like a bomb in his car, he probably got some gas.
I was gonna say,
I'm sure he had gas. Yeah.
I hope nobody's recording my Call of Duty conversations I'd be having with strangers. I'd be cussing. Come to your house and kill you and your family. It's bad, man. It's bad.
Oh man!
Florida man threatens to cut off buttocks with machete over potato chips.
Whoa!
His buttocks or somebody else's?
His. According to arrest update, an argument
smack his own butt.
Caused a Florida man to cut off someone's buttocks.
Okay.
That is literally the whole article.
Sounds reasonable.
That's
all right. So, first story. Forklift guy, right?
Forklift guy.
Okay. That's oh man, he stole it twice too. Where can you get away with something twice?
Can I say this has got to be northern or mid Florida because I can't see this happen in southern Florida. It's just
you'll be surprised what happens in southern Florida.
I'm gonna say north. I'm gonna say north. I'm going north.
You're gonna say north. You're gonna say north or mid. Which one you going with?
I'm saying that's north. That's north.
You're gonna go north. Oh, you were so close. So close. It
was mid.
Port Orange. It was mid.
It was mid. Okay.
Just barely mid.
Port Orange. That's a place.
Port Daytona.
Okay. Port Orange, Daytona, same thing.
Yeah,
actually, I have no idea. Story two.
They are the same thing. They're the same thing.
What was story? Story two was the lesbian.
Florida man threatens to blow up the lesbian woman's home after denying sexual advances.
I know where this is at because I heard him kind of say it.
I'm gonna play mid. I'm gonna play mid again.
You sure?
Yeah, man. Why are you trying to mess with me?
Because all right, I'm gonna say south.
See, he thinks he knows because
I know it's south. Is it?
I know he heard the sheriff's department name. I didn't catch it.
No, he heard me say the Herald.
Yeah, and Miami Herald is a newspaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's
right?
Okay. I'm gonna get him though. This because he thinks he knows everything. All right. So if it was there, was it north part of that area or the south part of that area?
Probably neither. I feel like this is a trick question.
No, it's definitely one.
Okay, then I'm gonna say north.
It was the north side of the north side.
Go ahead. Give me my crown because I know I'm right.
The Keys area is the Keys area. So
where the hell is that? South?
Southern
It's
Florida.
south. It's south.
The
of Miami,
southest you
man.
get.
Listen,
Yes.
you can't add questions within a question.
Even he knew, and he doesn't even live here.
Listen,
Just
I got it right. Was it
Just
South?
saying.
It was South. So I'm 1 for 2. Or 1 for 1. I don't know.
He
And then
can't get
what's
his numbers right.
number 3 was, what was the story?
The cut off his buttocks with the
Cut off his
machete or
buttocks.
some
Oh
potatoes.
my God, that might be something
Potato
here.
chips. You want some potato chips?
Potato chips.
I'm
Listen,
just having a flash of Scarface, so I'm gonna go Southern Florida with that
Southern Florida. It must be some good ass potato chips.
one. I'm just
I'm
hearing
gonna go-
machete like.
Yeah, you want to cut your butt off for some chips? All right, I'm gonna say South too, just to be safe. South.
Gonna say south. It
Yep.
is south.
Okay.
Yes.
I got
2
one.
for
I got
3.
one.
South.
Was that 2 for 3? Well,
That was
we 2 for 3.
It was an any
we
river
gave you
just
one.
out of Vero Beach. So
Yeah, we
Okay.
gave you a freebie, so don't worry about that one.
yeah.
So basically, after I've won this game show a lot of times, and I was always
Never.
promised.
He has never got
Listen, I
all
was
three.
always
Just saying,
promised
he's
a Chick-fil-A
never gotten
gift
all three.
card. I've been waiting for this gift
Not
card.
once. If
for
he
almost
gotten
2
all
years.
three, I would have took him out for at least like Starbucks or something. No.
Right.
First of all, he was
Maybe
calling.
he'll take you to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Maybe.
Yeah,
boom.
Yeah.
There you go. There
he
you
was
go.
calling
You
Tampa.
understand it. You're understanding.
He was calling Tampa South Florida, and it's not South Florida. It's like Central Florida.
Where's the University of South Florida at?
It's here, but that doesn't mean.
Where's the university? Okay.
Okay,
if
so is
someone's
the
not
University of
from-
Miami is Miami a direction? Like, no, it's South.
Well, where's the
USF
University of Miami at? Where's the University of Miami?
in Miami?
Okay. So so with that thinking, where would the University of Florida, University of Southern Florida, South Florida be at?
The Keys.
Oh, come on, man.
Listen, cop on a
Come
friend.
on.
I actually spent a lot of time in Florida, so that's why I know some of the cities. Like I love St. Pete Beach. I love Tampa Bay. Like those are. I'm going there on any given day.
If you would have
Oh,
said
my
like
goodness.
Ocala, I would have like, whoa, you've been here. Those are easy though. St. Pete Beach.
What? I like St. Pete Beach.
Okay, fair enough. No, I'm kidding. But
St.
Dom,
I like
Nice. Any
I
rocks
like the
better.
twisted monkey. I like the toasted monkey. It's good.
all right. What the hell is a toasted monkey?
I think he made Twisty Treat.
No,
Twisted
it's toasted
treat.
monkey. It's toasted monkey.
What is that? A bar?
It's a bar, breakfast spot, dinner spot right off the beach. It's got volleyball right off the beach.
I got.
Oh, it's actually in St. Pete. Oh, see, I
Yeah,
guess
it's in
wrong.
St. Pete. Toasted
All right.
monkey.
I might go there. I might go there tomorrow.
They got this grilled pineapple chicken sandwich. It's the bomb.
Damn, when you go yesterday? How you remember
This
that?
I know, right? He's talking like
You
he
remember
just
the
was
exact
there.
menu item in another state.
This is 2 years ago. I went for my 30th 2 years ago.
You get them Amazon shipped to your house. Dom, thanks. We appreciate. Thank you for coming on, man. It was definitely a pleasure.
Go ahead and give your gym and all your information out for us.
Yeah. So where can we? So if someone listens to your podcast, what's the? Because I know, like I said, I know Anchor has a lot of different outlets, but what have you been getting the most traction by?
I get the most traffic or the most traction on Spotify.
Spotify.
So if you type in "No Bad News" on Spotify, I pop up super easy.
Okay.
That's where most of my listeners listening to. The other is kind of divvied up between Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and there's one
He
more.
did
I
just
can't
drop
think of
episode
it.
20 not too long ago. That sound episode 20. I'll just listen to it. Great episode, by the way.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
Definitely give it a listen, man. And as you can see, man, like it's not really that hard. I mean, there's a lot more, as far as just the podcasting in general. I mean, the technical side is probably the most stressful and annoying side, but the actual like doing it is probably the most easiest part. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll tell everybody that asks me about a podcast, write down 4 things you want to talk about. Write down 4 topics. And then if you get off subject, you just look back down like, okay, let's move on to the next subject.
And I always tell people, like, who cares? Like, I'm not even thinking about, like, when we're talking, I'm not thinking about, like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so is going to think. Like, no, I'm just talking. Either you like it, you don't like it, you love it, you hate it. It's as long as you're being yourself and you talk about what you want to talk about, you're enjoying yourself. And
I'm not losing money or sleep.
Yeah. This is costing me $0. Heck, I probably made $10. But anyway, Sean, you want to we
definitely want our listeners to be listening.
You want to go ahead and sign us out?
All right. Well, just want to thank Mr. Dom and his and of course his
Mr. Dom
podcast.
You so military. Mr. Dom.
Hey, I'm gonna call him by. I'm gonna give him some respect on his name.
All right, fair enough.
Respect on that name.
Fair enough.
So
say it again.
The name of the podcast is No Bad News. This is Mr. Dom Davis. Thank you for coming on our show, sir. I am Sean Aquina Torres.
And it's your boy Ciroc the Mike. We will see you next week.
Definitely next week. Thank you guys for listening.
Not like I like, what's today? I'm just kidding. Take care, everybody.